So there's a problem now of people not really knowing how to cook or how to really deal with how do you feed your family, how do you make good healthy food. So one thing in particular is you need to always know what kind of ingredients you need in your pantry. Seasonings, real seasonings, not the ones that have sulfates and preservatives in them. You can get real herbs and spices and that don't have it. They're just like ground cumin. The only ingredient in it is ground cumin, right? If you get into the McCormick spices, there's a lot of like artificial flavorings and MSG and other food additives that make it to where it's not really that healthy and it's going to ruin the flavor. But I've worked in the restaurant industry a lot, okay? A lot of the menus, it's a lie, and a lot of the health code violations, if you saw it, you wouldn't want to eat there. Number one, especially salads. Trust me, you just because it looks pretty on the plate. I mean, if they don't sanitize the sink very well, I mean, I don't want to gross you out, but trust me, even the most fanciest of restaurants are pretty disgusting, regardless of what they tell you or not. And most restaurants now are not even hiring trained culinary chefs, and a lot of people call people chefs who are not actual chefs. And I'm not saying you have to have a degree in culinary arts to be a chef, but there are basic necessitations that you need, and I've even met a lot of bad chefs, so even that is not foolproof. And a lot of business owners will hire the most affordable chef to get the job done while compromising quality and amplifying price. You are better off making a home-cooked meal that takes 5 hours than going onto a restaurant, spending gas, paying the valet, waiting for your table, and then ordering, okay? I know in this fast lifestyle, people think they don't have time, but you can meal prep, okay? You can buy those containers, BPA-free, meaning bisphenol A. That's a chemical that's causing, in the plastics, that's causing endocrine disruptors in the bodies. Be careful which plastics you buy because the chemicals eke into the food. There's been a lot of scientific research on this. You can use wood, you can use metal, ceramic is really great. Pretty much foolproof, really. As long as it's not raku fired, you'll be alright. Because some ceramic coatings are decorative and are not for eating off of. So make sure you know the difference. But meal prep. I can make homemade pasta by hand like in the traditional Southern Italian tradition. Gnocchi, you can make fettuccine, linguine, spaghetti. You can make a lot of different, capellini, all that with a pasta machine. You put the dough in and then you crank it out and it makes the pasta and you can hang and dry it. I understand these are time consuming. People think, well, I don't have time. But ask yourself, you can buy better ingredients and take time to make it at home while gaining skills instead of spending all the gas and stuff to go out to eat and then being able to impress your friends and such. Create home-cooked meals in order to gain your skills back that you are losing. Because when you start cooking food yourself, you'll start to value the dollar more and you'll start to realize how important food is to your overall health. We're in a McDonald's, burger, fast food culture that is making us sick. Everything is fast and easy so that we can go to work to go and get money to buy clothes and, get the new car, get the new phone. Please consider, ladies, on really leveling up your culinary skills, making good food. Making good food you can be proud of is such an honor. It really, really is. And you can truly feel proud of what you make. Like on Thanksgiving, I work really hard to make that food just as best I can in a traditional way. A lot of people complain now that everyone's food sucks because no one's really learning how to make good food and they don't put their soul into the food. You got to put your soul into the food to where when people eat it, they feel like, man, this really hit rock bottom. This really hit the bottom of my belly, right? Fast, easy food doesn't have the same flavor on the tongue. And your kids, they will see it and they'll value these home-cooked meals, and when they eat it, they can feel the love in the food, okay? I understand that life is more about beauty, about being an object, about selfish narcissism and such, about making sure you got money to go get your 17th shot of Botox in your face, right? You want that new lip job, your nose job, you want to go to the tanning salon, whatever it is you're doing. People are spending their money in ways that is not really the best way they could. You need a good bag of flour, a good salt, eggs from quality farmers, right? And you can make these pastas and you can do it. Okay, get motivated. A lot of these recipes, once you learn the basic fundamental principles of baking and of, making sauces and pastas and casseroles and other such items, you will become very fast at making it in a way of like, okay, I'm going to make a barbecue sauce today, put it in the fridge. Tomorrow I'll get some beef brisket and, put it on the stove at 10 a.m. and let it slow cook till about, 4 o'clock. And the flavor, low and slow, it's just going to be better than anything you could have bought at a restaurant that's been sitting in the walk-in for so many days. And, employees all the time, they stick their fingers in the food in the walk-ins. Trust me. And if ice cream, forget it. You should not be eating ice cream at any restaurant. You know how many servers get a spoon and they double dip in the ice cream containers? I mean, I'm surprised more people haven't died. And health code inspectors are very weak. They come in, the chef yells at them, or they bribe them with food, or the owner complains, and there's a way they can, pass off the health inspections all the time. And it puts you at risk. And I know some people say, oh, well, if you get sick, it makes you stronger. Yeah, but what if you have an important meeting the next day that was going to change you, and then you get sick, and now you have to pay some expensive bill, you miss work, inconveniences and such. And hear me out. If you start learning how to cook and gain up your skills, having a decent spice rack, practicing with wheat flour, rice flour, coconut flour, all these, gluten-free flour, you're going to really learn how to make different items for all types of occasions. And let's say you go into a party, right? You're going to go into a celebration, and you don't have money to buy, someone an expensive gift. You can make some beautiful pastry and, offer that as your gift. And that does go a long way. And trust me, people remember a good cake, right? You go there, oh, I made you a cake. Now, they might not eat it, right? Because some people are weary, which you should be, because some people are crazy and they put poison in food. You never know. But let's take the benefit side. Giving food, good food, makes a memory in people, and they always like it. If they try it, they taste it, oh, wow, how'd you do it? It's a good icebreaker. It's good bonding. We're going to have a problem with our youth survival. If all of them must pay someone else to cook their food, this is going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue. Because if you have people who all they want to do is wait around to go out to eat, you're really making yourself so crippled. You're making yourself dependent upon restaurants in order to survive. And I know I've worked in restaurants. I understand they needed to go out to eat so that I can make my money, right, with their tips and such. But at the same time, now I cook way more at home. Very few restaurants will I visit, right? Even I want to start perfecting how to make sushi and other items and really level up. And you can get so many cheap cookbooks on Amazon. There really is no excuse, okay? It just takes the time. And yeah, you're going to mess up. And remember, recipes, you can twerk them how you want, right? You don't always have to have it the way that the recipe calls for. Some recipes, for example, they tell me, okay, you only need 1 habanero pepper. Maybe I'll add 4, depending how spicy I want it. Remember, recipes can be altered to fit your flavor profile. But remember, with the liquids and the oils and the eggs, you need to pay attention to those, right? Because the consistency matters concerning baking temperature. Also, I know that if you make a big mess on your stove, cover it with tinfoil, okay? Put a tinfoil down, and that way you don't have to be scrubbing your oven as often. You would simply put the tinfoil down, and then you would, when it gets too dirty, roll it up, whip it off, put it in the trash, and then sanitize, get a little bit of dish soap, a little bit of bleach, hot water, as hot as you can stand it, put on dish gloves, and then scrub down your oven.